Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and I've got a second episode of kitchen chemistry for you today. Although we are not in the kitchen and this is not chemistry, I still really like the name of this series. So what we're going to do today is we are going to dissect an owl pellet. So an owl pellet, you'll see here, these are in foil. They're also called boluses, and there's different sizes, as you can see. I've got several here that I will probably open up just to see what kind of stuff is in here. I'm going to start with the big one, though, and see what kind of animal we can find in them. An owl pellet is basically owl vomit, and there are multiple birds that do this. When they eat something, they are unable to digest certain parts of whatever it was that they ate, their prey, like bones, fur, feathers. It just depends on what they ate. And what they do is they swallow it whole, digest the meaty bits, and then they throw up the parts that their body cannot digest. And that's what a bolus is, or a pellet is. So what you can do is you can find these and look at them, and it can tell you a lot about the organism and, you know, what it eats, how often it eats, that sort of thing. Now, you should not go out and just look for these on your own, because they can be full of bacteria and dirty, so you should not mess with them. These were store-bought, and you can get them on Amazon, and I'll put a link below for ones that I like or I recommend. You basically open them up and you can see what it was that the owl ate. So these have been wrapped in foil, and then they've been autoclaved. An autoclave is basically like a fancy oven. It's a pressurized oven that cooks them, and it kills anything that might be living in the owl pellet. And so that's what we've got here. I have some fake ones that I can also show you as examples after we get through these. And what's really cool about these is we can use dichotomous keys to figure out what it is that we found on the inside of the owl pellet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dive in. I've got some tools here. I'm just using a paper plate, and I've got some forceps or tweezers. I've also got a tiny magnifying glass. So we'll see how useful that is. One bit of warning: if you are allergic to pet hair, cats, dogs, that sort of thing, you might be allergic to owl pellets because they have hair in them too, from mice and things like that. Okay, so if you are, you might want to wear gloves and maybe even a mask, so you're not breathing in that stuff. Okay, let's dive in. Whoa. Whoa, okay. Wow, we can already start seeing things. So this looks like a leg bone. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start making a pile of my bones over here. Ooh, looks like we have lots of leg bones here. I think this might be part of the spinal column, maybe. Putting my fur all on one side. What you really want to do is you want to be able to find the skull. This looks like all fur. This looks like another hip or pelvic bone. And oh, there's one little bone right there. I think that's all for. Okay, let's see if we can find a skull. Is that the back of a skull, maybe? No. There can also be parts of insects in here, but actually I think that's a bone, not an insect. Oh my goodness. I see teeth. Do you see that right there? Those little yellow things? Those are teeth. That means there's a skull right here. Yay! Let me keep picking off the hair. That looks like part of the spine, maybe. Uh-oh. Are those teeth? Is that another skull? Did I find another skull? I think there's another skull right here. Let me see. Yay! Here's one lower jaw. See how this is the bottom jaw? I lost the other one. Here's the other half. And so you can see, if I take off the hair, you can see the bottom teeth right there. There's the other half of the jaw. And let's keep going. Ooh, I see more teeth. Do you see those teeth right there? Sorry, I should center that. Ooh, oh, I see the bottom of a skull. And teeth. So these are the top two teeth called the incisors of whatever rodent this is. So we can find rodents in here, but basically anything that an owl might eat can be in an owl pellet. So owls will, or any other birds of prey that form boluses, there's the skull. They will eat insects like I was saying, or they could also eat birds, like small birds. I have an example of a fake bird that I will show you in a little bit. But this is obviously a rodent. And I'm trying to take all this fur out of its eyes that got stuck in there during digestion. Or really, it's not the eyes, it's the eye sockets, right? So I want to be able to see all of this stuff. Oops. And now the other eye. There we go. That one was a little easier. Take out fur here. And let's clean up the back of this little guy's skull. So here you can see, here's his skull, or her skull. And the eye sockets are right there and right there. And then these are the incisors, or the teeth. And then these are the rest of the teeth right here. Okay, put that aside. Was there something interesting in here? Ooh. Oh, another skull! I knew this was gonna be a good one because it was ginormous. So Let me clean it up a little bit more. Oh, look, this one still has the bottom jaw intact. So you can see here, these are the incisors right here, and then here are the bottom two teeth from the jaws on either side. So this obviously went together, and those probably were together. So I'll keep them together. Meaning they were from the same individual. Come on, hair. Come out, come out. There we go, that's a little better. So I'll put him over there, or her. And put this piece over there. And then clean this one up a little bit more. Okay, that's pretty good. We should be able to identify it using that. So again, here we have eye socket, and our incisors right there. Okay, let's open the other ones just because I already took them out of the foil. So we have 1, 2, 3. Do you think there's one in here? Perhaps. So what I've done is I have gotten a brush and I'm gonna clean off the bones a little bit more, and I'm gonna be putting them on a new paper plate that I have over here. So there's still a lot of bones here, and I could spend hours on this, but I'm not going to. Here's what I have cleaned off that's a little bit kind of done. So what you can do from here, what you're supposed to do from here is you are supposed to fill out this guy here, okay? So what you do is you can put the pieces on here. Let me pick like that, and then take the jaws, the mandibles, that's another one, not that one. Here's one. And I'm definitely cheating here because, as we know, we all have, we opened up like 4 of them, 3 of them, I don't remember. But you're supposed to go through and match all of the bones that you've got. So here is a scapula, okay? And here's another one. And then you go through and you find other parts of the bones. Like this might be, what do you think? Do you think it's one of these, the radius or the ulna? These are gonna be super hard to find because those are so tiny. Here's a tibia. See the different shape between this one and the scapula? So this one goes laying down like so. Okay. Here is, oh, I lost it. Here's a femur. And so on. And you would go through and you would match them all up. I believe this might be a humerus. Okay. And that's how you would identify all of the bones. This would be something cool to do when we do the skeletal system, right? So what next? Next, we can identify exactly what animal we have here. And I have a very simple dichotomous key right here. Okay, so here, this is a very simple one. And we can look at the skull and figure out what kind of animal it is, okay? Now, this is gonna make a big difference depending on where you're at. Like if we knew where we collected these owl pellets, we could be a little bit more exact as to what type of animal this is. If we knew, if you know what animal it's from, these are all obviously owl pellets, right? But if you were dissecting an eagle pellet, you would look at what their diet is and what it's likely to be. But here, this is just a very generalized one. And this is a dichotomous key, right? Which we've been learning about already. So number 1 says, A, 3 or fewer teeth on each side of the upper jaw, or B, 4 or more teeth on each side of its upper jaw. So now we can look at the jaw and see how many does it have. 3 or fewer? It looks to me like it has 3. So I can go to 2. Does it have 2 biting teeth on its upper jaw? Yes, right? 2 biting teeth. So then it says go to 4. So then 4 says the roof of its mouth extends past the last molar, or the roof of its mouth is not extending past the last molar. It is extending past the last molar. So it says go to 5. A skull length of 22 millimeters or less, or is the skull length of more than 22 meters? Let me get a ruler. So here is my ruler. It is definitely more than 22. So it's a rat. Okay? So that's how we figure out what species it is. Okay? And other options that we could get is a shrew, a mole, a house mouse, a metal vole, a deer mouse. You remember the vole video that I made? These are fake. I wanted to show you these. These are fake owl pellets that had fake fur on them. And it's just to show you the different examples. So this is supposed to be a vole. I have a mole also. And I didn't do a very good job of cleaning these out, but here's a mole with the skull. Notice it's a little different. The bottom jaw is different. And then this is a cool one, a bird. And they even put a feather in here, but look at the bird beak. Again, this is fake. This is just an example, but I bought these a while ago so that I could show you guys. Okay. And that's how we identify what we have here. There's also other ways to figure out what it is. We can look at papers like this to compare to the different pictures. Here's another way to identify. We can compare the skull that we found to these skulls here, the size, and we can use a handout like this also to look at a different rodent, a shrew, a mole, or a bird skull, and then the different jaws for the different types of animals we might find, and what their forelimbs, hind limbs, pelvic bones, and vertebrae all look like. Okay? So that's how we dissect an owl pellet. Remember, I will link down below if I find anything on Amazon that you might want to try yourself if your parents let you. But that's our owl pellet dissection. Thank you for watching.